So the Denver Nuggets are currently top of the Western Conference, and they've been absolutely dominating teams. Like, they just won by like 30 against the Clippers the other day. But the point being is that they've looked like the best team in basketball. And yes, they have Jokic as their star player, but their complementary pieces have really stepped up and showed why this Nuggets team are a formidable powerhouse for years to come. Now, in their last 15 games, they're 12-3, and offensively, they've been the best team in the league, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to speak about individual performances and how good they've been and why the Nuggets are this good, from how they've been playing on the court to players like Christian Brown, whose stats may not pop off the stat sheet, but his defensive ability and energy are instrumental to how good the Nuggets have been. But yeah, I'm about to jump into this video, so please like, subscribe, share the video and enjoy. So let's get into it. So starting off with Nikola Jokic, who really is the ticking point to this Denver Nuggets team. I honestly can't believe that he's still getting better. Even after coming off 2 straight MVPs, he's still found ways to elevate his game to new heights. Now, scoring wise, statistically, he may have slightly dropped, but his efficiency is only getting better, which is just a joke. His assist numbers have somehow got better, even though he's arguably the best passer in the league and most certainly the best big man passer we've seen ever. Jokic is still finding ways to elevate himself and his teammates, and that reflects on the team's success. Like, Jokic will happily take less shots in order to get his guys cleaner looks, even though he's one of the most talented scorers we've ever seen. Now, he's shooting a career high 61% from the field, and is also averaging a career high 9.5 assists, which is currently 3rd in the NBA. 34% of the Nuggets' total assists come from the big fella Nikola Jokic, and his selflessness just runs through the team. And I won't be surprised if this is their year to win a chip, because Jokic has really shown that, I don't know what else he has to show, but even after being a 2-time MVP, he can take his game to new heights, which I've been absolutely surprised by, and it just shows. But next, we're going off to Jamal Murray, who, like the NFL, there should be a comeback player of the year award, and if there was, it will certainly go to Jamal Murray. His 3-point percentage is wrong, as I've listed here. My bad, it's actually around 37.6%, but it still doesn't change the fact that Jamal Murray's been absolutely phenomenal, with averages of 18 points per game, 3.8 rebounds and 5.4 assists, and also 1.3 steals. Now, he did start the season off slightly slow, bearing in mind he's coming off an ACL tear, but Jamal Murray just fit around Jokic so well, and his jump shots have just been a thing of beauty, which they always are. But for someone coming off an injury, I didn't expect Jamal Murray to be as bouncy, as explosive, and as efficient as he has been, because a lot of guys coming off of injuries like a Klay Thompson or other people, they definitely struggle getting the ball in the hoop at an efficient rate. But Jamal Murray's transition back to being a full-time starter and being an important piece to this team has been pretty smooth, and honestly, only God knows how much better Jamal can get, because if he didn't get injured, this guy would probably be an all-star, all-NBA type player, and even with this injury, he's still playing at that level. So I wouldn't be surprised if he elevates the way he did in the bubble during the playoffs, and he becomes playoff Murray again. And we all know how good playoff Murray is. He's the best guard in the damn NBA. But he's currently having career highs in 3-point percentage, 3-point attempts per game, and steals, which are all things that are helping the Nuggets win in many different ways, and he's been contributing at a very high level. But next up, we've got Mr. Aaron Gordon, who's probably my favorite player on this entire roster. And you may be thinking, why is Aaron Gordon your favorite player? Well, it's that he's not a star player. He's not going to be an all-star, even though he's playing at a very high level. He's someone who knows his role, plays his role to an elite level, and is a star in his role. Aaron Gordon's been averaging 17 points, 7 rebounds and 2.4 assists on shooting splits of 58.4% from the field and 37.6% from 3. Now, Aaron Gordon's really mastered the role of cutting when Jokic has the ball, being a catch and shoot spot up guy, and also being a versatile wing defender. I really never thought that Aaron Gordon will find the right situation and become the type of player he's become, but when you play next to Jokic, it really makes your life so much easier, and it's really been like that for Aaron Gordon. His efficiency, his IQ, his defense has been absolutely stellar, and I love the way Aaron Gordon's bought into his role and is doing it at a very high level. When they lost Jeremy Grant 2-3 years ago, I thought, damn, he was a really nice role player around Jokic. How are they going to get another one? Well, they've got Aaron Gordon, who's playing that role, but to an even higher level. I feel like numbers-wise, he'll be disregarded for all-star selection or all-star consideration, but but production wise and his impact on the floor say otherwise. He should definitely be in all-star conversations, and Aaron Gordon has certainly elevated this game to the betterment of this Denver Nuggets team. He's currently having career highs in field goal percentage and 3-point percentage, and honestly, he's been the most impressive player on this roster so far relative to the type of production they're used to. Now, going on to Bones Hyland, who's in his second year in the league. He's one of the most exciting, explosive, and most joyful players to watch, because this guy always had a smile on his face, he's always dancing, and he's one of the most shifty guards I've seen. Now, currently he's averaging 13.5 points, 3.3 assists, and 2.3 rebounds. Also, 1.4 steals per game. Whew, I need to catch my breath quickly. But his shooting splits have been very impressive, of 41% from 3 and 41% from the field. I feel like Bones has really found his role as a shot creator off the bench, and he's only getting 20 minutes per game, and this is the type of production he's producing. Bones Hyland knows how to get a bucket. He's an energy guy, he can score at will, and it's been a very, very good shooter next to Jokic. Like currently, on step back jumpers, he's shooting 52%. He's shooting 43% on pull-up threes, and also 39% on catch and shoot threes. He's really just bought into his role and showing that, look, I can still be a budding star in this league and come off the bench and be a star in my role, which is my favorite phrase, and I feel like is the main phrase for this Denver Nuggets team. They have so many stars in their roles who have bought in and have mastered what they need to do in order to win and play even better around Nikola Jokic. He's having career highs in points per game, field goal percentage and assists per game, also 3-point percentage and 3-point attempts, which is all granted because it is his second year in the league and he has an increased role. So Bones has really been impressive for me. And as a young player, I believe he's only 21 years old, the sky's the limit for Bones Hyland. Now, I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of years' time, we're talking about him being one of the most electric guards the game has to offer. Now, going on again to other key players to mention. Now, I couldn't necessarily talk about everyone. For example, Michael Porter Jr., I didn't add to this list because he did miss a month and a half. I believe he still played 25 games this season, but I'm going to talk about other guys who've really been here the entire year and still made a massive impact. Now, Christian Braun. I honestly love this guy as a player. Like, his impact soars way beyond the stat sheet. I believe I spoke about him slightly earlier, but this guy, he has 14 minutes per game, 14 minutes each game, 3.4 points per game. The average NBA fan will be like, who the hell is this guy? But if you watch the Denver Nuggets play, his defensive versatility, energy, and ability just helps the Nuggets so much, because if we're being honest, Jokic may not be the best defender. You have guys here and there like Bones who may not be the best defender, but you've got guys who can clean up the defensive woes of the other players, and Christian Braun is one of those guys. His energy, his IQ, and overall two-way ability is something for Denver Nuggets fans to be so happy about, because you've got players getting older. You don't know how long KCP is going to be here for. Guess what? Christian Braun can definitely step into those shoes in a couple of years' time, and he's definitely someone to be excited about, and he's someone who can actually get a lot of run in the postseason. But will he get that kind of run? I don't know, because the Nuggets are pretty stacked. Uncle Jeff Green. What do I even need to say about this guy? He's 38 years old. He's catching bodies every other game. He's bringing that energy. He's been a decent shooter from 3. I feel like Jeff Green kind of speaks for himself. That's why I didn't even write any notes next to him. You know what Jeff Green's going to bring to the table, and I understand he's injured for a couple of weeks now, and he will be missed. Even though the Nuggets are stacked, he will be missed, but his impact, his influence on the team has been absolutely just a good thing to see, and I hope Jeff Green has a speedy recovery and gets back to the court very soon. Now, KCP, who also missed a bit of time, I believe 2 weeks, is probably the most ideal 3-and-D wing any contender could have, because KCP is a good defender, he has active hands, he's pesky, he is also a very good 3-point shooter, he's a knockdown shooter, and alongside that, he's still very athletic. Like, KCP is in a cone, he's not just gonna catch and shoot, which I'd rather him do, but my point being is that he can still slash, he can finish around the rim, and there's other things KCP can really add to this roster. He has championship experience, and I feel like KCP was an absolutely great pickup in the, I believe, Monte Morris trade, something like that. But yeah, KCP has been fantastic for this team. And going on to probably one of my other favorite players on this entire team, Bruce Brown. Now, if you know me, you know how highly I speak of Bruce Brown, who's kind of a jack of all trades guy, which means that he can do a bit of everything. And I feel like his time in Brooklyn, where he played the small ball 5, he was in the short role with KD and Kyrie, has really helped him to become such a high IQ player. He plays way taller than, I believe, his 6'4" frame, and his IQ on the court is just insane. I believe he's shooting a career high 40% from 3 and around 3.5 attempts, which is very good for Bruce Brown. But as a whole, I feel like he's going to be instrumental for this team's playoff and postseason success. Now, you can use Bruce Brown in an array of ways. Offensively, you can use him as a screener, as a roller, and now a spot up guy, and I definitely feel like that adds so many layers to how much you can play him, because before, in previous seasons for Brooklyn, his only downside was his inability to hit outside jumpers, but he's definitely improved that aspect. And guess why that is? When you have someone like Jokic, who attracts so much attention, one of the most gifted facilitators in the league, you're going to have so many more easier looks, and I'm not surprised why so many guys are having career years all of a sudden. Bruce Brown's ability defensively and offensively is just really surprising for his frame, and I honestly hope he's in Denver for a very long time. Michael Porter Jr., he speaks for himself. Ever since he's been back, it feels like the Denver Nuggets have barely lost. His ability to create his own shot, shoot off the bounce, shoot off a hesitation. We know how good Michael Porter Jr. could be. His only issue is his health. Now, we struck together quite a few, I believe 10 games in a row in which he's been straight healthy, and he's come back from, I believe, his lumbar management, which I believe was his back injury he's been having for ages, and he had like a bit of soreness there. But when Michael Porter Jr. is healthy, this guy is a legit all-star level player. He's one of the most creative, skilled, tall, every word you can think of. He's just a great shot creator for his height, and Michael Porter Jr. can really be a massive factor to this team. He got that bag based off one season in 2020-21. Obviously, in years prior, when he barely played due to injury, especially the bubble season, we saw how good Michael Porter Jr. could be, but he really came into his own that season. So we know what Michael Porter Jr. can do fully healthy. The question is whether we can get fully healthy Michael Porter Jr. And so far in the recent history, so good. Team stats. So the Denver Nuggets have been averaging 116 points per game, which is 6th in the NBA. They've been shooting 51% from the field, which is 2nd in the NBA, and a total of 28.7 assists per game, which is 2nd in the NBA. I can't say I'm surprised, because Nikola Jokic is on your team. You're always going to be high in the assists per game category. But all these stats here just show the selflessness of this Denver Nuggets team. From good shot to great shot. That's why That's why their offense has been so efficient, and they've been shooting so well from the field, because they'll pass up a decent look to get an even better look. And that all comes from Jokic being able to see all 4 corners of the court from the back of his head. The guy is really insane. But yeah, the Denver Nuggets have been really scary, and I do not want to see them in the playoffs. If I'm a Western Conference team, I don't want Denver. If I'm a team in the finals, I don't want Denver. And hey, this might just be their year. But honestly, thank you guys so much for watching. I felt like I was running out of breath this entire video, but I got all the stats, all the facts out of the way, and I thank you for sticking all the way to the end. Honestly, I'd appreciate it so much if you shared the video, liked, subscribe, and just showed your support. Please leave your comments in the comment section down below, whether you agree, disagree, or have any thoughts that might be similar to mine. I love to read them, and I'd love to interact with you guys too. But that's the end of this video here. Stay blessed, guys. Have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.